Ready for questions.
Tre.
What's the transition been like coming from a D2 school to an SEC school?
It's been a big difference because at D2 you don't really have all the nutrition, extra work. You don't got teammates that's really building you up like we got here. So I'd say the biggest transition is rehabbing and nutrition for me.
What was your recruiting process like to Vanderbilt, and did you did you have any other Power Five offers?
Yeah, I had Oklahoma State, UCF. Then I had a couple schools telling me they were going to offer me. But what carried me to Vanderbilt was I had a bond with Coach Beck and Coach Kill. Out of high school, I committed to New Mexico State with them. Then I decommitted and went JUCO to stay closer to home. And already having that bond with them in Diego drew me more here.
You feel like you're a particularly good fit within their offense?
Yeah, they said they had the plays already in their playbook. They just needed that one speed person, and I feel like me, KB, bring that.
How would you describe your skill set? With the ability to carry the football, but also catch a deep pass.
I would say it's unique, and not too many people could just do everything that they're just thrown into. So I say it's a unique talent to have.
How long have you known Diego?
Since my junior year of high school. It's about 4 or 5 years.
Did you stay in touch with him, even when you guys weren't playing together?
Yeah, we stayed in touch a little bit. Not too much because he was in the season, I was in the season, but every now and then, yeah. Then he told me he went to Vanderbilt. I was like, that's nice. And then after I got custody, half custody for my son, I decided I'd go in the portal and go somewhere else.
When you hear Diego talk about wanting to win a national championship and that being the standard here, what are your thoughts about that?
I feel like we can do it. We got the keys on offense, defense, special teams. We got it everywhere. Everybody here believes it, so I think we can too.
Is there any part of you that's motivated to prove guys from D2s can do it at this level?
Yeah, I've been doubted everywhere. Every school I go to, they be like, "Oh, you came from a trash high school. You came from a JUCO. You came from a D2." So I'm just showing everybody you can play from anywhere.
JUCO is known as a traditionally pretty gritty route for football. What do you think you learned from that experience?
How to survive. You don't got nothing in JUCO. You got 1 or 2 food spots. That's it. You got a couple stores, so you got to learn how to survive at JUCO, so it makes you push harder to get up out of there.
What part of your skill set do you feel allows you to make the transition? Obviously, you've been pretty productive out here.
Being fast, then my awareness, and then learning stuff fast. I learned the playbook pretty quick. I learned it within a couple weeks. So.
You feel like speed like yours can translate to any level?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I can prove the same speed at NFL anywhere I go.
How's it been finally being on the field with Diego and just working with him and getting some chemistry down?
It's been fun. Since I got here, we'd be throwing almost every day. So we've been getting the chemistry, getting the bond down, and ready for the season to start.
What do you think about the rest of the receivers in the room, especially Trent, a guy that I would guess you know?
Yeah, he was there on my visit. But I feel like we got a great receiver room, especially compared to how they used to have, and the 2 and 10 teams. But I feel like our receiver room is elevated a lot. We have Trent, we got Junior, we got Tristan, we got everybody we need. We got the pieces, Richie, we got everybody we need at certain spots for certain things.
How's the competition been with the DBs so far?
They had a little days, 1 or 2 days, but I feel like we whooping them right now.
Appreciate it.
So getting Zaylin back and your whole perspective on that?
Yeah, man. Well, ever since last year, when he got hurt versus Georgia State and battling through, man, just working with him, keeping him dialed in, game plan wise, and Ray in the training room, they do a great job getting him back. Coach Steiner and those guys, and just continue to build with him. But it's exciting to have him back, man. He does a good little changeup. He's like our Swiss Army knife, being able to play on the edge, inside, and do it all. So it's good, and the kid just works, man. So he makes it easy. He makes half the battle easy just with his mindset and his mentality. But just seeing him go, it's a good deal to have him back in the fold.
He said he thinks you guys can go 3 deep on the interior
yeah.
and a lot of positions this year. Do you feel better about the depth this season?
It's an exciting comfort. It's a good feeling. When you look at our D-line room, that's something that we wanted to continue to address and build, especially as you go throughout the SEC. And as you build, man, just trying to build that depth. And, having the depth is good, but I'm always on those guys. Just like whatever unit's out there, it has to be dominant. Like we're trying to work to reestablish the line of scrimmage and build a great run roll and then get after the passer. So just having, like I said, just we should be able to send armies of guys in and roll. So just trying to build that depth, and that's our challenge right now in camp. Like who's going to show up? I know what a couple guys could do. It's like who's the guys going to show up and keep building. So that's what we're after now.
Zaylin talked about trying to have more sacks from the defensive line this year. How have you been progressing towards that goal?
I think the big thing is just understanding where we're working when we're rushing the cage. Like the big thing, and that's when we talk the cage, that's us first to 5-0 linemen and keeping them in the cage and understanding like different games, whatever we may be running, but just understanding where we're working to keep the quarterback and how we're going to attack that. And then again, it's getting to our moves, it's closing space. Everything in the pass rush is about closing space. Are we closing space? Are we taking the pocket away? So, again, continue to work on that. And then, as it goes with the coverage. But also understand sacks are great, but hits on the quarterback are great. Getting him off his spot are great. So just putting that all together. But, yes, we want to continue to increase that and build on that sack total because that could be game changer for us.
Linus and Issa were thought to be pretty raw prospects coming into this program, but they've transitioned into seeing meaningful snaps and serious playmakers. What have you seen in terms of their progression since they've been in this program?
Workers. Them cats work. They show up and they grind. They work their ass off. I mean, you look at Linus, you look at Issa. I'm here. These cats come in the building at 5:15 and they're got their process. They're dialed in. You got to understand these guys are from Germany, so this is what they have. This is very important to them. So everything from the standpoint of their preparation and what they go through, very mature. And I'm on them. They take tough coaching, and they're able to build there. But those guys, since I had those guys since Fred, they just freaking work. And, like, they're like that. Like, you could put them through or you could drag them in the mud, and here come Linus, here come Issa. They survive. So that's just part of who they are, their mentality, their mindset, and they love the game. So it's exciting to have those guys, and we just got to keep building because they still got ways to go too. And we talk about that daily, but they do a great job with their mindset and approach.
Out of the young guys and the newcomers like Terry, Mason, Nikhil, like who of those guys have you liked so far?
All those young guys have been showing. I think of like, when you look at that, you got Mason coming in, you got Josh coming in, older guys out of Porter who are really good at what they do and fit really good in our room. Then you got young guys like Nick Jefferson. You got young guys like Jalen Stone, man. Those are guys who show up. And those, when I talk about building depth, those are guys you're looking for to continue to step up and go. But those young guys, like you said, Big Terry, man, very talented. And it's just continue to work and build the process with them and continue to adapt them to the D-line culture and what it takes to continue to play with a dominant position and work at all angles. But those young guys show some promise. We just got to keep getting it out of them and putting them in the fire every day.
Clark talks a lot about winning in November and having to be better that way. How big of a piece of that do you think you guys are, obviously with more depth this year?
Yeah, I think it's everything for us. Having fresh bodies, you look at that back stretch, you don't like looking ahead, but as you see it, man, you got to be able to withstand those double teams and those combo blocks in the SEC, and you got to have some fresh bodies to do it. So if we could continue to build out the depth the way we think we can, we're hoping to have those bodies ready to roll and continue to dial in as we get later in the season so we could keep sending those waves out to go attack. Appreciate you guys.
Zaylin, how are you feeling health-wise now?
I feel good. I'm just, blessed. The athletic training staff, they did a great job with my ankle, and I feel like I'm getting going. I'm, hunting pretty good. I feel like my change of direction is really good. I'm just happy to be here, blessed.
What did last year kind of teach you? Obviously weren't able to play a ton, but what did you learn from that experience?
Really, I think when I got hurt last year, I got really close with God and, trying to figure out what path I was going to go. I wasn't sure if I was going to come back. Like during the season, I thought that was it for me. I was just going to have to find a way to get in the NFL, but I got blessed with the athletic training staff. They helped me, and compliance, they helped me get back and get my extra year.
What are you hoping to prove this year?
I'm hoping to prove my availability. That is big for me, being healthy, being able to play 17 games, as Coach Lee tells us, to make it to national championship. I am wanting to play 17 games. Every game, I don't want to miss no game. So availability is big to me, and obviously production as well. Having production for me and helping my teammates out as well.
The rehab process is typically thought to be a pretty lonely one from a player's perspective. What do you think you learned from that process?
I learned to reflect. Reflection was big for me with that process, reflecting on what I did from the spring to the summer, taking care of my body. I think I took care of my body pretty good, but I could have done better. I could have rolled out, more. I could have gotten the cold tub more. I feel like I could have did things better. And this year, I feel like I took really good care of my body, and I'm, ready.
Is there anything different you're doing in the training room nowadays?
I'm doing a lot of dry needling. Dry needling is kind of big for me. I do it in my ankle as well. I do it in other places, calf, hamstring, whatever I need to feel good. I do the hyperbaric chamber as well. I do that sometimes, but I'm trying to get more consistent with that. So that's pretty much it.
Skill-wise, technique-wise, what are you trying to hone in on with Coach Black, before the season?
Triple extension, plan to run better. I feel like I'm a pretty good pass rusher, but it's everything. There's things you can always get better at. But playing the run block, that's big for me. Being able to play 3 technique and play edge as well, and be able to take on double teams and not get washed.
You feel good about the depth behind you guys at those positions in the interior?
The depth is the biggest part of our. That's gonna be the biggest part of our success as a D lineman. I got hurt last year, and I feel like that made the D line take a dip as far as depth. B-man got hurt as well, so the depth that we brought, I feel like we can roll 3 deep. We can roll 3 deep as a D lineman. Everybody's got to stay healthy.
You mentioned just now wanting to go to a national championship, and Diego's been pretty vocal about that. What are your thoughts on him saying that, and why do you think that you guys are capable of that?
Diego is the one that drives our bus. He's the one that drives our team. He is the one that keep us going. In tough situations, we always know to look at Diego as well. But as far as going to the national championship, we're gonna have to have sacks as well. We didn't have enough sacks last year as a D lineman as a whole. I think Renardi, he's a linebacker. He had more sacks than us. Not trying to knock Renardi, but I feel like D linemen should have more sacks than linebackers as well. But I feel like sacks, us helping the offense as well with sacks and getting off the field. I feel like that's gonna be a big part of our success next year.
Glenn was able to play a lot last year. What have you seen from his development?
Glenn's 350. That Glenn he's a powerhouse. Glenn is big. Nobody can move Glenn, and you saw that last year. Nobody can move Glenn. He is special to our interior, especially run defense. Glenn is special to us. Just blessed to have Glenn in the interior because that makes it easier for the edge as far as squeezing and cheeking and stuff like that, not being able to get washed. Thank you. Thank you.